Does adding link in bio actually drive traffic? I mean, are people actually leaving the news feed to go click on the link in your bio? Let me run you through a scenario. Maybe you just invested heavily in a brand new video to show off your business or to show off your company, but you don't have a ton of people on an email list yet. So what you do is you go over to Instagram, where you do have an audience, and you make a great looking picture. You fill out the caption so it reads perfectly. And at the very bottom there, you put it in all its glory. Click on the link in my bio to go to YouTube and to leave this news feed and to go watch something else entirely. Is that really working, or is the link in bio just a lie that Instagram culture has taught us? We're going to be digging into the science of that today on the Social Media Lab Live. Plus, we've got a trivia question for you today, and that trivia question is, on an average day, how many photos are shared on Instagram? Type in your answer in the comment section below. We came to play, folks. It's Social Media Lab Live.
Are you ready to use science to bust some myths in the social media ecosystem?
Great Scott!
Welcome to the Social Media Lab Live, brought to you by Agorapulse, where our social media scientists experiment on real accounts to crack the code on social media success for your business.
Type 5 to subscribe to the show.
Now your hosts, Owen Video and Scott Ayers.
Hey, welcome back to the Social Media Lab Live, where we're cracking the code to find out what's working and what's not working for social media and your business. We're live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday at 9 a.m. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can give me 5. That's right, type 5 into the comment section now that will subscribe you to the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can click that big old gray subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell. It means you'll get an alert for every single episode. Hey, I'm Owen Video, your host, MC, and I'm here with the #1 social media scientist and the brains behind the lab, Scott Ayers. Scott, what's up with this link in bio phenomenon? Is this something that is popular now? All the kids are doing it?
All the cool kids are doing it. Yeah, I think we've seen this on Instagram for years, where people will post something and say, hey, go to the link in my bio for more. Right. And so I've always wondered if people actually do go to the link, because I know personally I don't. Right. I don't know that I've ever taken that extra step to go, oh, great photo. Now let me go to your profile. Let me go to the link. It's just an extra action or two. And so people have been asking us to test this for a while for a couple of reasons. One of them we'll kind of tease and talk about in the end, dealing with reach. But I think it's one that a lot of businesses use, a lot of individuals use to try to get people to go over whatever that product is or blog post. They want to get people to, but is it really worth doing? Is it worth the manual labor and the and the time spent to do it?
And, is it a good use of Instagram? After all, they give you one link on purpose. They give you one link for a very, very specific reason. It's because it's not really a traffic driving source, right? If you're going to drive traffic, you're not going to necessarily do that on Instagram unless the whole idea is to run ads on Instagram. Now, I'm a little guilty. I'm a little guilty of something. I have actually clicked the link in bio. I have.
Oh, man.
No, I have.
That's good. That's good that you have. I mean, whatever it was, work. What was it that made you click it? I mean, what was it? The image?
Great question. It was a video by one of my favorite video creators, and he just does excellent work. And this particular video title, because I'll say this, I don't go to every single one of his videos, but this particular video was something that I wanted to see, so I went to the link into the bio to watch it. And it is kind of a wonky experience. I think it's a better experience on Instagram than it is on Facebook, where you click the link and the video pops up, and of course on an iPhone you can sort of tap and hold, swipe up, and then you can open up in the app, and it's all these different things. It's a better experience than Facebook, but not a great experience. How many of you in the audience, how many of you guys have actually clicked on the link in your bio? Let us know in the comment section. The science behind this study today it's really great. It actually revealed to me what I sort of thought would be true. But I think you're going to be really surprised by the findings today. And so we're excited to have you with us here today, especially you, Carrie D. You know, it's funny because you know these people on Facebook, but then the first time you're asked to say their last name out loud, you're like, I don't know how to say this last name. I've been looking at your last name for years, and I don't know how to say it. Carrie D. Reddick Barker is here. Mike Reed is out there. That's a very special name to me, Mike Reed. Glad you're here. Jason Shea logging in from Seattle saying, good morning, Owen. And our top fan, Naomi Nakashima. I love how it says top fan right there. She's here with our other top fan, Sarah Hecker, and a very close third. I bet you by next week, Sarah Monroe will also be a top fan. Great to see you out here, ladies. Here with Owen Schrock. Glad you guys are here. Would love to know, have you ever clicked on link in bio before? Let us know in the comment section right now. So Scott, you know, run us through sort of what it is that you guys went through in this study today. How did you come up with this experience? You said people were calling you. Is this something that like social media people are teaching at the big conferences?
Yeah, you know, I got you know, message on my beeper to go check it. You said calling, that made me think like, did people actually call? Yeah, they're ringing me up on my home phone.
Yeah,
no,
I have a package deal with my digital cable.
Right. It goes with the beeper and the pager. Yeah, I guess beeper and pager, same thing. Anyway, yeah, I think people have been teaching this for a long time. I see it a lot because people will say it's a great way to kind of get free traffic on Instagram,
right?
By putting it in there. And there are other things. Yeah, there are other things you can do. Like you could do the pure link. I've used Linktree and other sort of links that do multiple links before, and they get, you know, the clicks on them are so few typically when I've looked at it. Now some people do great. I think was it Sarah that mentioned that for events that it does really well for her, and probably for certain things it may do well for them. But yeah, so it's just a way to kind of get people to go over to your blog, to your article, your product you're selling without having to run an ad for it. And it's something we were really curious about because our readers are always asking us to try to test this. And we have done it, and I've done it, 2 or 3 years. I've done it here and there, but never really went and looked. Are people actually clicking on that? And so that was important to do. And the other thing too that I always thought was kind of hard with this is if you got to remember to change that link. The worst thing I did once, I did it once, and then like 3 months later, I forgot I had some weird link to something else, and then someone's like, "Hey, what's that link in your bio is dead?" And I'm like, "Oh, oops." And so that's always a wake up call to go back and look. How many of you
have ever done the link in bio thing? Let us know. And have you ever forgotten to change the link out? This is like forgetting to change a link. I have to look this way if I'm looking at you because I see Scott like in 3 different places here, so I have to like know which Scott is the one. I always see these things like Linktree and whatnot, which sort of makes it easy to just always say link in bio, but then you've got this poor user experience where it's like what the customer's now got to go through all your 10 different links to even remember what was the one that I clicked on again. And how does it even, how do you even track it? Are you able to track, does Instagram show you how many people click on the link in your bio?
You'll see in your insights clicks.
Okay.
And so you can kind of do it that way. Or what I did is I actually used Bitly links.
Okay.
For each individual one that we did in the test to kind of just make sure that it did correlate 100%. But you can actually go and see when you look at your insights, you'll see clicks on it. And there's a good example on our blog about this, and we'll put the link in the comments. WeWork, I love WeWork. I don't know if anybody does any, remote working out of WeWork, but they use this strategy a lot. And they were kind of a great example of someone using it constantly. If you go look at their Instagram account, I saw it a lot when we were running this test. So obviously they're seeing some value in it. So a big brand like that is doing it. I kind of want to see if our brand could leverage that or not.
Okay. So we're going to dig into that today. And I'm interested to hear how you tracked it, because especially if Instagram is showing you how many links or how many clicks you're getting, but at the same time, you're getting traffic to your profile from various other posts for people finding you for the first time. lots of different ways. I know for me, I've got my Instagram link on my YouTube videos, and so people will find me from over there. They could be clicking on the link from there. It's like, how do you even track all of that? It's a lot to keep in your mind, which is why you want to make sure that you have the right tools. And I know me and my good friend John Loomer, we use a great tool for measuring our activity on social media, and that tool, you guessed it, is agorapulse.com. We had a chance to catch up with John Loomer just recently, and he had some words on how Agorapulse has helped him manage his social media. John, talk to us a little bit more about your thoughts with agorapulse.com.
I'm John Loomer. I have a Facebook education website. Basically, I've been running for the last 6.5 years, where it's focused on Facebook advertising. I've got 170-some thousand Facebook fans, so their dashboard for keeping track of everything and responding to everything is tricky and it's difficult. But I like to be able to personally respond to like all the comments that go on individual posts and ads, and especially the ads where you can't just find them in the news feed; they're hidden. So really, Agorapulse is where I'm replying to comments and things that are on my posts and ads. Yeah, I mean, Agorapulse definitely helps when people have a question, they want answers, and if you can respond quickly and promptly, that could be the decision, what makes the decision for them, whether they end up taking that next step with you. So it's definitely useful. It's helpful.
That's right. You can get your free trial of Agorapulse at agorapulse.com, or type social into the comment section now, and I'll reach out to you personally with a link to get started. I'll even help you get rolling with agorapulse.com. I really love agorapulse.com as well. I mean, it keeps everything front and center, and it's so visually appealing. I freaking love it, and so we want to see you guys experience that type of joy too. Hey, if you're just joining us, we're talking about, does the link in bio thing actually work? We're here with the social media scientist Scott Ayers, who ran a study on testing whether or not this works. So Scott, run us through. Wait, Lilytree, hang on. Lilytree is logging in from YouTube, along with Dan Norton. Great to see you, Dan Norton, on YouTube as well. Who says, I found it so much more powerful to use other features on Instagram than the link in bio. And Lilytree, our number one YouTube fan, is just logging in saying hello. So Lilytree, we wanted to stop everything to welcome you. Glad you're here. Glad you guys are watching with us on Facebook. So Scott, how did you guys run this experiment? Walk us through the details, because we need to make sure that the science is on point.
Right. And so what we did is, first we always form a hypothesis of what we think will happen through the test. And based on what others had said, I actually went against what I'd read on this one, because I just personally don't use it. So my hypothesis on this one was the link in bio strategy on Instagram is not effective at driving traffic. That was what I thought would happen. Again, based on what I just feel, that was probably the most unscientific hypothesis, because everybody else tells you it's supposed to work, but sometimes I don't always think that's legit, because people just say it, and there's no data out there. Nothing I could find when I look through all the other blogs out there. People are just talking about doing it, so it's kind of this antiquated guess that people are doing. So I want to kind of test it. So that was our hypothesis, and basically how we did it is we posted graphic images from our featured images from our blog posts from Agorapulse and with Social Media Lab. And then, it's a little tidbit about it, and then say, hey, to read more of the links in our bio. And then I had to keep a spreadsheet with all the Bitly links and go through every day at the right time and swap it out. And typically, I would say, of course, doing anything manual like that, we did 30 posts, 30 days in a row. And so in order to do that, for one, you've got to set a timer. You've got to remember to do it. And I typically probably got it within 30 minutes, maybe usually less, usually within 5 minutes, I got it done. But sometimes it was a little bit longer.
Within 30 minutes and 7 emails from people that are like, hey, the link's wrong. You got the wrong link there. I'm not sure if you knew. You know what I mean? I'll tell you, if I'm a second late on swapping that link out. But I want you guys to hear how much work that is, like managing the data, making sure you're swapping out the link. And this is for a controlled experiment. Doing it with Jason is logging in on YouTube saying, who's your data? That's still funny. That is still a funny joke, Jason. I'm glad that we're continuing with that. Here we are, 2019. So thank you for that. It's a lot of work, and anytime you're involved in like a lot of work, like we do a lot of video creation around here. Believe it or not, we have to be asking ourselves: is this video creation creating a result for us? And I think that's the truly important thing. So not only did you set up Bitly links, but then you had to create a tracker for them, and then you had to swap them out every day.
Yeah, and then on top of that too, what I did, because I'm always worried about anything that could sway the data, and so I actually had to post. So one day they'd be at 9 in the morning, the next day they'd be at 5 in the afternoon. So I was making sure we got an average of the time too. That way it went 9 o'clock. Of course you didn't get anything, and so we kind of mix it up. So that's one of those other little elements we always try to do when we do tests. Now, one thing I will say. It was a little bit different from this test. A lot of the tests we do, we try to use multiple accounts,
right?
Across multiple industries. This one being so labor intensive and, specific with the links, we kind of just wanted to dip our toes in the water here. And so we just use Agora Pulse's Instagram account through all the different tests.
Right.
And there's kind of what one of the posts look like there with our good friend, Pat, in the lab doing studies.
Your twin brother.
And so, my twin brother. Yeah, he was my Siamese. We removed him at birth.
Can you even say that? Are you even allowed to say that anymore? Conjoined twins. Oh my gosh. I remember in the 80s, every talk show, Phil Donahue, Oprah, Ricky Lake. How many of you guys remember who was your favorite talk show from the talk show from the 80s and 90s? I want to hear about it because I know so many of you, right? Yes. I know so many of you sat on your mother's floor watching these, doing your homework at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I remember 3 o'clock is when Oprah came on. But all the rage back in the 80s. But yeah, you definitely have a twin brother. He's Pat. He helps you do all the science stuff. So did the call to action matter? This is what I wanted, because you say read more. Right? And read more to a person like me. I'm like, meh, you know what I mean? I've read enough. I'm the ultimate TLDR. By the way, if you know what TLDR means, let us know in the comments section right now. I want to hear from you guys. Did you vary
that show that Carson Daly hosted, TLDR? Oh,
Carson, you are
I'm showing my age. See, tomorrow's my birthday, and I turned 44, so I set my age there with the Carson Daly reference.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The Siamese twin reference.
Like bomb the man, the scientist, Scott Ayers, for his birthday. Just like bomb him right now, folks. It'd be great to hear from you. Naomi is saying Phil Donahue, Geraldo, and Oprah. Oprah was the bomb in the 90s. Oprah, you had never seen this before. I remember watching her. Yes, I remember watching those and being like, who is this lady? First black woman billionaire in the world. I mean, that's amazing. Dustin Stout, who is a top fan, is saying one tool that may have made this test easier for you, Scott, is Rebrandly. Have you used it? Scott, have you used Rebrandly?
I've used it a little bit, but what I try to do on most of these tests, and I appreciate that, Dustin, is, I like going raw right to the account and the platform itself to make sure I'm getting the best data. Just again, because I don't want anything to skew it or anybody to come back and try to poke holes in it. So old school spreadsheet and literally looking at the insights on my phone for each individual post and putting it in a spreadsheet. That at least gives me the most pure data without any worries of, the API not reporting correctly or a delay or something like that. But you were talking a second ago about what did we say? I think we have some of those. That screenshot we had a second ago. What I said on every one of them basically was go to the link in our bio. So not read more. And it was at the very, so it wasn't a real long, so you should have seen it regardless of how it was on your feed. Obviously these screenshots are from the desktop, so they look different than what they do on your phone. But you should have seen these without having to click read more. At times. Now that one there might have dropped down below, but the verbiage was basically the same. Go to the link in the bio, or by going to the link in our bio. We wanted that link in our bio in there,
and that's the key. That's the key strategy. And that's what that's why it's kind of difficult for me framing the opening of the show today, is because it's kind of like link in bio. That's when I do this. I'll put link in bio, and typically what I'll do is I'll do like like a finger pointing, right? 2 fingers pointing inside. It'll say like link in bio, and that's all. Not like go to, just like there's a link in our bio, or the link in our bio has been updated. But you've still got to track all that, right? You've still got to sort of measure all of that, and that's sort of what you're doing. So what were the results? Like, what did you guys measure from doing this? Did you get more? Did you get more clicks? But did you get any? Was there any added boost? Was there any like comments that you got, or maybe increased engagement, more likes, or less likes for that matter? What were the results that you got from holding this test?
So what we end up looking at, and I'm looking on their screen at my data just to make sure. We looked at, mainly for this, we looked at the clicks and the reach. And when I say clicks, when you go to your insights on an Instagram post, when you're a business account, you'll see website clicks. It actually says it, website clicks. So that's the data that we pulled to look at this. And so what we got was, when we looked at the 30 posts, they only averaged about 2 clicks per post. So
wow,
not a lot.
2 clicks per post.
Which, that's a lot of work for a whopping 2 clicks per
Stop
post.
the presses, folks.
Yeah, I drove 60 clicks to but you know,
for $4,000. Yeah. Wow.
Right. So I removed the top 2 performing posts, which were a little bit higher. They're like 13 and 8 clicks, and it drops down to like 1.37 clicks per post, which is like just really low amount. And so for us, you know, that's not a great traffic driving strategy for Agorapulse, obviously.
Right.
It's not worth the time and effort to constantly go over and change the links out every time it comes, because people aren't, at least for us, they're not going out there and going back to our profile and clicking the link, regardless of what the image was. When we posted, and they were different images every time.
Plus the opportunity cost, right, on what you're invested in. Now, I believe Instagram is like, you know, top priority platform, but how much time is different? I mean, you're like getting Bitly links, you're organizing Bitly links, you're going back to remember. I mean, that's time you could be spending on new studies. It's time you could be spending on other things, folks. So your opportunity cost, this is huge, and I think it's one of the big values of this show, is that we're helping you, we think, learn where to spend your time more effectively, especially on social media. Every little thing on social media has its experts, right? You've got Facebook group experts, organic reach experts, Instagram experts, Instagram story experts, Instagram ads experts, right? You've got all these different experts. But your business model may be different. You know, you've got to think about your business model. You may be able to, I got, you know, how many link clicks did you say, Scott? 60?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So you're saying 60, and you might think, oh my gosh, I would love 60 clicks to my website, because I'm only getting 4 right now. But at what cost, my friend? Like, at what cost is that 60 links? And is it even really qualified traffic? I think that if you're going to be spending that much time and energy on traffic, it needs to be on pre-qualified people that have already reached a certain level of pre-qualification. And that link click needs to go to an ROI. It needs to go to some type of conversion asset, so that they can convert. Do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section right now. So Scott, frame it up for me. Like, is the link in bio something worth doing? Should we do it anyway, just cause, or what is your advice? What's your application advice? Knowing what we now know.
Yeah, and there's one other thing that kind of makes me a little more influenced by this, because I had a couple of people who've emailed me thinking that, hey, we have heard, you always hear those things in the grapevine, you know, those in social media. We've heard that Instagram is punishing the reach, if you call it the reach, of your post, and when you say link in bio, in the text of your update, which is really hard to test. Obviously, it's the whole shadow ban sort of idea. You don't know if you're really shadow banned or not. But here's an interesting thing: the average reach of 30 posts when we asked people to go to the link was 34% lower than 30 posts when we didn't ask to do that. And they were similar content, similar sort of text, similar sort of image. Nothing changed there. Our follower count didn't drop 34%, but there was a 34% lower reach. Now, we can't go out there and say, all right, Instagram is punishing this based on this, but it does kind of raise a red flag a little bit to say, okay, maybe the algorithm is doing that, because we know Facebook has said in a lot of other applications, like, hey, if you're encouraging people to click like or to share or whatever, they might be punishing. They may diminish the reach of it. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities that Instagram is punishing based on the text.
Yeah.
So that kind of was, a surprise to me. But when you kind of think about it, if I were Instagram, I probably would punish that, because the only other way you can get a link in the feed is to do what? Spend money,
right?
On an ad. And so if I were Instagram, I'd protect my house a little bit. And maybe diminish that reach. Now, granted, it's just a guess. I can't say it's statistically significant, and that's fact or anything. I don't want to spread a rumor like that, but it is kind of 34% drop in reach is shocking to me for us and for our account. So for me and for Agora Polls, even though I just did it in an Instagram story just for this show, I would say the link in bio strategy is not working. Just based on this data. And something that I would probably test on your account, see if you are driving traffic with it. Sarah had mentioned that with her events, she's done great with it. And it may be how she housed it. Maybe her audience is more inclined and they're used to events. They're used to going to it. So it's a little bit different. You said you went to one in a video. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me, because you are Owen Video. Right. That you were motivated by a video to go click on it. That really hit you perfectly. So it kind of makes sense that you would do that.
And I do see, my cousin, Owen Newspaper, doesn't enjoy Instagram too much. He's a different guy. His uncle, his dad, it's my uncle's a different guy. So interesting thoughts from our comment section below. We're going to try to pop these up on screen, but our Facebook comments they never want to work, folks. We need to do a study on Instagram comments. Hashtag technology name that's responsible for this. But Dustin Stout is saying, ding, 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 magic words, Owen, qualified traffic. And that's big, because we're talking about, how qualified is this traffic that you're even spending all this energy for? Are these buyers? Are these tire kickers? We don't know. Now, Sarah Monroe, who has got to be a top fan. Sarah, you got to comment a little bit more. Maybe share this right now. I want to see you be a top fan. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see that Naomi's a top fan in the comment section? It's so neat to see that. Sarah says, regarding traffic, Instagram users have virtually no bounce rate. Now, this is interesting. A bounce rate is how quickly somebody goes to your website. So 100 people land on your webpage. 97% of them leave without looking at future pages. You have a 97% bounce rate. So she's talking about Instagram users who visit your webpage have virtually no bounce rate. If they make the effort to go to the bio and click, they will explore the page. And that comes from the amazing Jen's Trends in social media. Of course, Jen Herman, who we love. I can see how that would make sense, right? So if you can get an Instagram user to leave this delightful platform, I love Instagram, right? To leave Instagram to go watch this other thing, I'm going to explore that thing probably for a little bit. And such is the case with Linktree, right? If I go to explore someone's Linktree, I tend to go through all of it. And I see, ooh, what's this guy doing? Then again, I'm also looking as a marketer to try to see what these what other people are doing to stay up on my game. So Dustin Stout is saying, oh wow, so reach did drop when you added link in bio. Do you think that verbiage was the reason why, or could it have been something else, Scott?
I would say that's why. That's the only thing different. Like I said, they were all images of the blog, posts with the same sort of idea. Correlation, yes. Can I prove it?
Right.
No. But it is a very interesting correlation that kind of makes me go, maybe I should test this some more and see. Maybe on a couple of accounts, or maybe some of y'all should test, a few posts with they're identical almost in the same time frame, same time of day, same sort of text, and then see if you see a drop in reach on those particular posts.
Dustin Stout. Yeah. Dustin Stout is quoting Sarah. He says, Instagram users have virtually no bounce rate. runs to go check Google Analytics. Dustin is the analytics guy. He's definitely a nut when it comes to the numbers. Right. Love to know what you have to say. David Maradiaga, our good friend in Florida, is sort of going, on to the different point here. He says, I'm on the fence with Agorapulse. Why should I go with Agorapulse versus the others? To answer that, David, I'm going to ask you in the audience watching us right now, do you use Agorapulse? Tell us why you love it. Scott, you've got, 15 seconds to convince David before your airplane door shuts and you don't see him ever again. What do you say to him in terms of going to and using Agorapulse versus all the other social media softwares out there?
There, I'm awesome.
You're back. Are you back?
Oh, did I leave?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, okay.
Of course. I'll tell you what, David Maradiaga, this is why you should use Agorapulse.com, because when you log into Agorapulse, it all makes sense. You look at it, and this is the software you would have designed for yourself. Everything makes sense. There's not all these little windows and buttons and all stuff. Yeah, I've been on these like social media sites. We got like 1,000 ticker buttons. Like everything's changing and updating, and it's this like dashboard from like Minority Report. It's like it was Tom Cruise kind of, It's way too much. Agorapulse makes sense. It's bulky, and I love the way that it flows. Scott, your thoughts on Agorapulse.com?
Well, obviously I'm biased because I work for Agorapulse, but I actually used Agorapulse before I even came on staff. I've run our social media.
Here. Yeah.
I do social media on multiple accounts, especially on Instagram. I do a lot of Instagram marketing with different industries now for our test. And it's so easy to schedule, so easy to manage your comments, manage your messages on Facebook, YouTube comments. So there's so many different things you can do on it that it's so simple and easy, and the interface is nice and clean.
Yeah. Plus multiple account users. We actually hired Dustin Stout, so he's in the comment section below, to manage some of our comments and our posting, because it's like so much, and he did all of that through Agorapulse, and I just love the way that I could add a manager. So David, you could set up one account. Get this, David, and this is a good hint for all of you social marketers, you video marketers out there. You start one Agorapulse account, and then as you bring on clients, you set them up with their like user accounts. And now you're in a place where you're truly connected to this client and they're connected to you. And if they walk away, if they get scared and say, I don't know, David, I think I want to pause our contract, then they don't get access to the Agorapulse software as well, which gives them their analytics and these other different things. So you can be setting up your clients as sort of like client accounts underneath you. I love this conversation. I love that we're digging in. Jason Shea out in Seattle says, I'm still using Buffer. Why should I switch? Scott.
That's apples to oranges, in my opinion. Buffer as itself is just a scheduling tool. Scheduling is just a very, very small part of what Agorapulse does. So it's hard to compare the two of those, to be honest with you. Buffer's great just if you want to schedule content, but if you want to do more than that, you need something a little more robust. Yeah, absolutely. I love the scheduling tool. I love that I can upload Instagram video. Instagram's a huge platform. Last night, we've got a new video, by the way, coming out. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the Owen Video channel. We got a brand new video coming out, probably already out by now. You should check that out. But we wanted to promote it on Instagram, and so the way to do that was, it's like 10 o'clock at night last night. I'm thinking, I got to write this copy tomorrow. But what I'm able to do on Agorapulse was write out the copy the hashtags, upload the video, and schedule it for release. And because I added my thumbnail to the very first frame of the video, I didn't even have to adjust the cover of the video. Guys, so many great features of Agorapulse. I'm glad that we got a chance to join into that conversation. I want to bring it back now to the link in bio. By the way, David and Jason, I want to challenge you guys to go to Agorapulse.com right now. Sign up to get your free trial. And then send me a direct message. I'm going to connect you directly with the people at Agorapulse that can help you fast track your onboarding. I want to see you guys make the switch, and I want to see testimonials from you on the Agorapulse homepage. So reach out to me, DM me when you get your free trial at Agorapulse.com. So Naomi Nakashima, who was one of our top fans, Air5, is saying on engagement. So she's talking now about you got less exposure in the newsfeed.
It's hard to say whether or not that drop is completely from Instagram suppressing it based on verbiage, or if the audience just isn't engaging as much because people don't always engage with that type of content. Content that it has a CTA, has a call to action at the bottom of it. Fascinating point, Naomi. What do you do, by the way? Naomi, give yourself a shout out. Like, what do you do? What's your business? Because you seem very, very smart. Your thoughts on that, Scott? She basically called you a liar. What are your thoughts?
No, I don't think she called me a liar, but she makes a great point. I mean, that's the hardest thing sometimes when we're looking at reach, because it can be skewed based on engagement. So I get what she's saying 100%. I would say if it was only like a 10 or 15% difference, it wouldn't have been that much to kind of go, whoa. But 34% kind of makes my ears perk up a lot.
Yeah.
And kind of wonder a little bit more. So I get what she's saying 100%. That's one of the challenges at times we have with looking at this sort of. That's why I said I couldn't say it's statistically significant or tell everybody, yeah, Instagram's punishing. It's just an interesting side, piece of data that we got through the study.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, I mean, in a study like this, I personally would love to get in there and try, like, watch the video at the link in bio or get enrolled, link in bio. What is the call to action? Are we asking them for a content extension? Maybe that's called a content upgrade. Like, here's a snippet to read more. TLDR, I got value out of my snippet. Or is it like, hey, here's this amazing thing. Click in my link in the bio to get it, right? To actually put it in your hands. And now it's sort of like your next step in the buying cycle. A lot of that could be said, and we would love to hear from you on what you think could make the link in bio strategy more effective. Let me know in the comment section. Naomi Nakashima is saying, yay, I pitched Agorapulse to my company, and we are going to be switching over. Wow. Wahoo. Folks.
Wahoo.
I just watched What About Bob. I don't know if you've seen What About Bob. Where he's like death therapy, Bob, and Bob's like, wahoo. Okay. Images from my childhood, right? It's how many of you guys have seen What About Bob? Let me know in the comment section. And while you're in the comment section with Natsim Beltran, my good friend, Hani Mura of Repurpose. Good to see you, Hani. Great company there. And Chris Boltman is out there. I'd love to hear from you guys on the trivia question for today. Melissa, pop that up. Our trivia question today is, on an average day, how many photos do you think are shared on Instagram? Is it 100 million, 10 million, 1 billion, or 80 million? Put your answer in the comment section right now. I want to hear from you guys. And the winner is going to get an Agorapulse t-shirt just like the one I'm wearing right now. And I love wearing my t-shirt because it makes me feel like my pecs look like that. I feel that way. Even though it may not, I look a little jiggly. I feel like this chiseled mannequin in this shirt. Jason Shea is saying D, 80 million. Natsim Beltran is saying 1 billion. Is it the pinky or is it this one? I can't remember.
I think it's the pinky.
So is a good man. What do you guys think? Sarah Monroe is saying, since there are 1 billion users, I say 1 billion. What is the answer? Melissa, give us the answer today. 80 million. 80 million. So who was that? Jason Shea is the winner.
Jason, yep.
Jason Shea is the winner of the Agorapulse t-shirt. Jason, reach out to me on DM.
Is it the one you're wearing?
Yeah. He actually gets the one Mike Alton is wearing. Mike Alton's wearing a t-shirt, and we're going to remove it from him forcibly and ball it up and send it to you in a manila envelope. It's like getting an Elvis memorabilia from back in the day. Hey guys, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. What study should we run next at the Social Media Lab? Let us know in the comment section. And while you do that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel over on YouTube. Scott, can you put the YouTube link in the comment section?
Yeah, we'll get it in there.
Or maybe Melissa could put it in there. Guys, we're putting a link to the brand new Agorapulse YouTube page in the comment section right now. I want to urge you, go down there, click the link, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on YouTube. A ton of great content is there. Plus, you can catch the replays. A lot easier to catch replays here on YouTube than it might be on Facebook Live. Hey, that's all we have for you today. I truly would love to hear from you guys on Instagram. Are you going to keep using the link in bio? Is that something that you're going to work with, or is it something that you're not going to work with? Have we started playing the outro music yet? I can't hear it. Maybe you guys can hear it. I'm like, I timed out my ending perfectly. Scott, what's next on your plate? What do you got ahead of you that our audience should be excited about?
We're testing a Facebook character length.
Ooh.
We've been working on that, see what character link works, and doing the same on Instagram as well.
You guys, you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. The Social Media Lab Live every Wednesday, 9 a.m. live on Facebook and YouTube. We will see you next week. Thanks for being with us today. I'm Owen Video, and I'm so glad you were here. Almost to the end. We're going to time it right.
Thank you for watching the Social Media Lab, brought to you by Agorapulse, where we use science to crack the social media code. Join us live on Facebook and YouTube to find out what's working and what's not working in social media.